You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
Tu es l'image de Dieu.
I hold you in my heart.
Tu es l'image de l'amour.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
Tu sei la luce di Dio.
I hold you in my heart.
Tu sei il volto dell'amore.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love.
The face of love.
I hold you in my heart. You are my family.
You are my family.
You are the face of
the face of love.
You are the face of love.
The face of love.
I hold you in my
heart. You in my heart.
You are my family.
You are my family.
You are the face of love.
The face of love.
You are the face of God.
The face of God.
I hold you in my heart.
You in my heart.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
The face of God.
You are the face of God.
Eres la luz de Dios.
I hold you in my heart.
Eres la cara del amor.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face
Tu
of
sei la luce di Dio.
You are the face
You
of
are the
God.
face of God.
You are the face
Tu
of
es
God.
l'image de Dieu.
You are the face
You
of
are the face of God.
You are the face
Tu
of
sei
God.
la luz de Dios.
You are the face
You
of God.
are the face of God.
You are the face
Tu
of God.
ruh khudai.
You are the face
You
of God.
are the face of God.
You are the face of
Eres la luz de Dios.
You are the face of You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
Tu es l'image de Dieu.
I hold you in my heart.
Tu es l'image de l'amour.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
Tu sei la luce di Dio.
I hold you in my heart.
Tu sei il volto dell'amore.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love.
The face of love.
I hold you in my heart. You are my family.
You are my family.
You are the face of
love. The face of love.
You are the face of love.
The face of love.
I hold you in my
heart. You in my heart.
You are my family.
You are my family.
You are the face of love.
The face of love.
You are the face of God.
The face of God.
I hold you in my heart.
You in my heart.
You are a part of me.
A part of me.
You are the face of God.
The face of God.
You are the face of God.
Eres la luz de Dios.
I hold you in my heart.
Eres la cara del amor.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face
Tu
of
sei la luce di Dio.
You are the face
You
of
are the
God.
face of God.
You are the face
Tu
of
es
God.
l'image de Dieu.
You are the face
You
of
are the face of God.
You are the face
Tu
of
sei
God.
la luz de Dio.
You are the face
You
of God.
are the face of God.
You are the face
Tu
of God.
ruh خدایی.
You are the face
You
of
are the face of God.
You are the face of
Eres la luz de Dios.
You are the face of
Hello, friends. Hi. Well, I bet you're surprised to see me here instead of our beloved Reverend Ron. So we can start our service today by giving great thanks for Reverends Ron, Reverends Lenore, and to all of you who have prayerfully lifted them up this week continue to lift them up, and our hearts wide open, expanding radiant light and love to and for them for all the ways that they serve this spiritual living center and this ministry here, and the many, many decades that they've been in service. So we continue to hold them in prayer. We're grateful for their miraculous recoveries already and the miraculous recoveries to come.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Let us pray. Dear God, we come together open and receptive to your universal energy of good, to your love and peace, in gratitude for that which is working in our lives rather than disappointment over that which is not. Guide us, empower us, loving Spirit, to follow your will and your way in discovering for ourselves your universal principles and applying these effectively in our lives. Gratefully, we embrace your truth that sets us free in the name and through the power and in the nature of the Christ Spirit that lives within each one of us. Amen.
Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. I used to think that God was the sun, God is the sun, but God's so much more than the earth or the stars or all of creation. God is creator, all in all, needing us to shine its light as me, as you so use me. Oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Command my hands, what must they do? Command my life, it's here for you, for God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things new, and God needs us to shine its light as me, as you so use me. Oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. And God needs us to shine its light, and God needs us to shine its light, and God needs us to shine its light as me, as you, so use me. Oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do, as you show me all that I must do.
Mother, Father, God, I come here this morning aware of your presence and power in my life. Each morning, as I rise up and give thanks for your many blessings, my understanding of life and my role in it increases, and I become more secure, for I know who I am. I am a richly endowed child of God. I am secure in all that I have, for I know my treasure is in my mind and not in the things that I possess. I live my life from day to day as if God's supportive substance were as exhaustless and dependable as the air I breathe. I let go of all that separates me from God, from my good. I release any thoughts, feelings, or attitudes that are not for my highest and best. Paul said, I will pray with the Spirit, and I will also pray with the mind. Jesus said, whenever you stand praying, forgive if you have anything against anyone. Oh God, how many times will this message need to be brought to me? That we can only have what we first give to others. The greatest gift is forgiveness. Forgiving them for what they have done or what we thought they have done. Forgiving others so that I may be released from the indebtedness I have imposed upon myself. Jesus said, if your prayers aren't being answered, if you have a great need, if you desire to have a miracle in your life, before you pray, go to them and forgive them. And right now, in my mind, I go to them in your presence of God and say with my mind and my heart, I forgive you and I set you free. And as I do, I also forgive myself and set myself free. Prayer is breaking free of the past, breaking free of old thoughts, of feelings that things must stay the way they are in my life. Prayer is the rising up in consciousness to a new way of thinking, of hope and promise and joy. I feel the feelings of ecstasy, of joy, of God stirring, coming alive in me now. And I feel this beautiful feeling of God alive in me in the silence, in the silence. As I, as I bring my awareness back to this room, I am more aware than ever that God cannot do for me what God cannot do through me. I hold on to this feeling of peace, of quiet expectation, that God is in my heart and in my life, and that with and through the power of God, all things are possible for me. And for this I say, thank you, God. Thank you, thank you. Amen. And now let us join together as we sing and pray the Lord's Prayer.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. Some things in life are bad, they can really make you mad. Other things just make you swear and curse. When you're chewing on life's gristle, don't grumble, give a whistle. And this'll help things turn out for the best. And always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the bright side of life. If life seems jolly rotten, there's something you've forgotten, and that's to laugh and smile and dance and sing. When you're feeling in the dumps, don't be silly chumps. Just purse your lips and whistle, that's the thing. And always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the bright side of life. For life is quite absurd, and death's the final word. You must always face the curtain with a bow. Forget about your sin and give the audience a grin. Enjoy it, it's your last chance anyhow. And always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the bright side of life. For life is quite absurd, and death's the final word. You must always face the curtain with a bow. Forget about your sin and give the audience a grin. Give the audience the grin they love, and always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the bright side of life. Side of life, side of life, side of life.
Today, I'd like to talk to you about holistic wealth. And I've been wanting to do a prosperity program for quite some time. And in preparing for this, I looked at several options. I looked at Eric Butterworth's Spiritual Economics, which is a great resource. I looked at Keys to the Kingdom by David Owen Ritz, which is also very good. I looked at the more traditional 4T prosperity program. And of course, I also considered, and I think this would certainly have been a good choice, to use the Four Spiritual Laws of Prosperity by Edwene Gaines. Still, none of those was exactly what I was looking for. And so when looking at this, the idea of holism came in. And by taking a holistic approach to prosperity, we're looking at more than just the financial aspect. We're looking at mind, body, spirit, our emotional and relational prosperity, as well as financial. So the first thing we start with is the fact that we are divine beings. We are an individualized expression of that one divine life. And our mission as divine beings having this earthly experience is to express all that we can imagine the divine might be or might want us to be. Reverend Linda Martella Whitsett says, I am divine love and wisdom expressed. In a lot of unity churches, we use the statement of being that says God is all, both visible and invisible. There's one presence, one mind, one power, and that is all. And that one that is all is perfect. Perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. And I am, you are, each one of us is an individualized expression of that one perfect substance. With that in mind, we look at biblical references. And 1 Corinthians 3:16 and 17 says this, do you not know you are God's temple? For God's temple is holy, and that temple you are. You see, prosperity is a mindset. Prosperity is our expectation. What we expect, we get. If we expect to expand our wealth, we should expect a wealth of not only finances, but knowledge, relationships, wisdom, as well as income. Our Unity co-founder, Charles Fillmore, says this, the spiritual substance from which all visible wealth comes is never depleted. It's right with us all the time, and it responds to our faith in it and our demands upon it. It is an unfailing resource, always ready to give. And when we pour our living words of faith into what Mr. Fillmore calls the omnipresent ethers, we will be prospered. It's not what's in our bank account. It's not our jobs. It's not any of those material things that determine our prosperity. It's our state of consciousness and how we perceive and experience the world. It's really our internal source, our source of connection to that divine power, whatever name you give it, whether you call it God or divinity or Abba, as Jesus did, that is cause. And whatever external prosperity we encounter, we bring into our lives, is the effect. That is not the cause. The cause is our state of consciousness. So what we are trying to do as Unity students is learn to live from that source. And when our life expresses our inner state of connection with source as our prosperity, we're free from any fear. We're free from any limitations. We are allowed to experience abundance in all areas of our life. Eric Butterworth, one of my favorite authors, said this. He said, prosperity is not just having things, it's the consciousness that attracts things. Prosperity is a way of living and thinking. And it's not just about having money or things. And he goes on to say that poverty is a way of living and thinking, and not just a lack of money or things. Everything in the physical world is made out of atoms, right? But what are the atoms made out of? The atoms are made out of energy, and that energy is made from consciousness. Albert Einstein, who's probably considered one of the world's greatest geniuses, and he's been gone since 1955. So back in the probably the early 1900s sometime, Albert Einstein said this: everything is energy. That's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. And he says, this is not philosophy, this is physics. So it's not just a unity belief or a positive thinking belief. This is a law of physics. This is a universal law. Every act, every thought, every feeling that we have is motivated by intention. And it's that intention that is the cause. And when Gary Zukov, who wrote Seed of the Soul, many of you have probably read that wonderful book, says that cause exists as one with effect. And if we participate with the cause, then it's not possible for us to not participate in the effect. So we are creating our prosperity or lack thereof by our thoughts and feelings. And so then we move into the idea of how powerful our thoughts and feelings are. And our thoughts and feelings can be very empowering. They can make us feel like we're on top of the world. We can do anything. Or if we focus on something otherwise, our thoughts can be very disempowering. They can lead us to a downward spiral rather than the upward spiral that the divine wishes for us. Now, I have a classmate who is also graduating with me in a couple of months, and she made one of these statements in one of the classes that we shared, and I had to write it down because it was so powerful. She said that when she is feeling a disempowering emotion like fear or anger, then what she does is she steps back and she takes a look at what beliefs are behind those feelings. Because she has found that when we do this, when we look at the beliefs that are backing up the feelings that come through us, that this is a really, really rich opportunity for growth and for that upward evolvement. And As far back as Pythagoras, before the time of Jesus, Pythagoras said, "Man, know thyself, then thou shalt know the universe and God." When the personality, that is the ego, gets to the point where we're working toward serving our spirit, not serving our ego, that is when we are truly empowered. So when we have a prosperity mindset, we see opportunities for wealth and growth creation instead of obstacles in every challenging situation. And then, as far as physical prosperity goes, we have to take care of these bodies. Yes, we are spiritual beings, and we are having a physical experience. And there's so many things that we can do to take care of our bodies. One of the things that I've been doing is walking. My husband and I are taking a trip, my first trip to Europe, yay, in March. And we're going to be doing a lot of side trips where we'll be walking on uneven ground and such. And the benefits of walking are tremendous. And if possible, walking outside is even better. From a medical standpoint, Hippocrates, who is the father of medicine back from Greece, he said, walking is man's best friend. And when it comes to physical prosperity, we need to listen to our bodies. We need to develop what's called body wisdom, because everything we need to know is within us. In The Way of the Peaceful Warrior, Dan Millman says, the secrets of the universe are imprinted on the cells of our body. But we have to learn how to read the wisdom of our body. We can't just read about it. We have to listen to our own bodies speaking to us. We have to listen for when we crave food, we don't just crave junk food. Our bodies want nutrition. When we crave exercise, that doesn't mean we have to kill ourselves. That means we do stuff to help our bodies grow stronger. And just like I said, just walking is one of the blessings that we have. Because we all are gifted with innate body wisdom. And it's through our spirit that we connect to the intelligence that has evolved our body through millennia of evolution. Our body is constantly speaking to us. It tells us when we're hungry. It tells us when we're tired. It tells us when we hurt. And in other situations, sometimes it's just that gut instinct about people or situations. And we really have to learn to listen and respond and take action based on those gut instincts. Did you know, and this is written by a scientist, toxic emotions put our physical health at risk as much as chain smoking? And so listen to our bodies and then listen to our spirit. One of my favorite authors is Dr. Wayne Dyer. And Dr. Dyer said this: if we have the choice between being right and being kind, let's always choose being kind. Because kindness actually has health benefits. According to clinical studies, kindness reduces stress and anxiety. It gives you more energy. It reduces pain, and it increases our lifespan. So it's not just our thoughts, but it's our feelings. And in The Eye of the Storm, author Gary Simmons says when we don't feel okay about ourselves, when we feel inferior, when deep down inside we actually feel flawed, what we are is spiritually impoverished. And the way to change that is to give time to our spirit. And we do that through prayer and meditation. I have developed a routine of prayer and meditation in the morning, first thing, and in the evening before I go to sleep. And I do this because it sets the tone for the day at the beginning of the day, and it sets the tone for my sleep at night. And prayer and meditation is the time most well spent in my day. And Tony Robbins, who also is a great teacher of these principles, says this. He says, the secret to a fulfilled life is not just doing well, as in financially, but it's also in doing good. And as far back as one of our founding fathers, although not part of the Declaration of Independence, but Benjamin Franklin was very prominent in those days. And Benjamin Franklin made the habit of giving away his inventions. He gave them away to benefit his community. And in benefiting his community, the wealth that came from those inventions came back to him. He was a very wealthy man. So one of the other things that we can do to increase our spiritual prosperity is being grateful. If we spend the day just appreciating everything that comes our way, not just the good stuff, but looking at the stuff that is less than desirable and looking for the good in that. When we do that, by the end of not just the end of the day, but end of the week and end of the month, we end up being deeply grateful for our lives. And Charles Fillmore, again, Unity co-founder, had a habit of spending time in the silence whenever possible. And you don't have to have just that practice time in the morning and in the evening. Any time is a good time to go into the silence. I have a habit, when I go to the dentist chair is one of my favorite places to practice the silence. And William Penn, who was also one of our founding fathers, so to speak, said this: true silence is the rest of the mind and is to spirit what sleep is to the body, nourishment and refreshment. And when we just walk in nature, it nurtures our body, our mind, and our spirit. So a spiritually prosperous life is a life that is attentive, receptive, and responsive to what divine presence is doing in us and around us. And as it says in Romans 12:2, be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And that's what we're going to be doing during this 40 days of Lent. If you haven't gotten this 40 days of Lent, letting go Lenten booklet, highly recommend it to you. And Wednesday will be the beginning of Lent. And on Ash Wednesday, I want you to pick up your Lenten booklet with me and let go. Let go of anger, and then let go of anxiety, let go of fear. And as we go through these 40 days of letting go, we will come out the other end so much more prosperous than we've been before. That's called building our holistic wealth bank accounts. And I'd like to close with a little story. One of the authors that actually gave me the title of this talk, Holistic Wealth, is a young woman by the name of Keisha Blair. And Keisha, sadly, became a widow at the age of 31. It was only a few weeks after her second child had been born. And as part of her grieving process, Keisha had to just take a look at her life. And she had a ton to overcome. I mean, she had people telling her things that she couldn't and shouldn't and never would be able to do again now that she was a single woman. And so she spent a year on a sabbatical. She took her children, her two boys, and she moved to Jamaica, sold practically everything she owned except her house, which she rented out. And she spent a year in the Jamaican warmth and sunshine and just focused on her holistic health. And that focus brought to her life a complete change. She went from the fast-paced lifestyle of getting ahead to a lifestyle of helping other people. And that's, I would recommend this book. It's 34 life lessons to help you just recover from disruption, find your life purpose, and achieve financial freedom. And Keisha Blair has now remarried, has a third child, and is very successful with her writing, her speaking, her podcast, and so forth. So let's begin Lent and use these 40 days of letting go as an opportunity to become more prosperous in all aspects of our lives. Let's do that together and enjoy this time of letting go. Namaste.
Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Yo, let me tell you about people. People done gone crazy. People done gone mad. People done forgot the superpowers we all have. We were born to love, not hate. We can decide our fate and look for the good in everyone and celebrate all our mistakes. If there's a silver lining, you still have to find it, find it, find it. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone, 'cause everyone needs sunshine, everyone needs rain, everyone is carrying around some kind of pain. I see who you are, just like me. I see you're searching for a purpose, guided by a dream. I see who you are, just like you. And I get lost sometimes and I forget what I came here to do. So I keep on trying. Keep on trying. When it gets frightening, I look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look for the good in everyone. Everyone is nature. Everyone is God. Everyone is love and light and vibration. Look for the good. Look for the good. Everyone gets mad sometimes, and maybe they should. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look out for all the heroes in your neighborhood. Look for the good. Look for the good. You know that life sure would be sweeter if everybody would. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look for the good in everyone.
We're also grateful to that for that beautiful song and singing, that beautiful Jason Mraz. It's one of the songs I listen to in my car quite a bit, and I'm grateful to have it in our service today. And of course, our beloved Earth Angel Nancy Ingalls for your radiant gifts of light, wonderful singing and music and message lift up, and to Reverend Anita for your great message and for leading this course with us, not only your Sunday service messages, but this course and this these workshops you've been providing relative to our own new expanded prosperities. So we thank you. We uplift it. We celebrate it. We're absolutely pleased that each of you could join us this morning. We invite you now to a presencing and prayer, to join in the sharing, a gratitude, a practice of generous gratitude, a practice of principled, generous sharing and giving. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. We are grateful for your generous donations. We're grateful that they're consistent. We're grateful that they're heartfelt. We're grateful that they come from an overflow of your own spiritual understandings and practices. There are 4 ways to do this. First is online through our secure website, www.slctroy.com/give. Second way is to mail a check. I'm actually inviting you to do that this week. Even if you give online, mail a check and put a love note for Reverends Ron and Lenore in there with your check, please. To 41340 Fox Run Road, number 106 in Novi, Michigan, 48377. You can also call Reverend Ron directly at 248-925-6214 with your debit or credit card information available. And then there's a fourth way that we send out in the weekly email a link there for how to give your donations and giving by clicking that link and simply following the prompts. So every week in the Friday email, there's an opportunity for giving there. We welcome you to join us by clicking on the subscribing to the email list by visiting the website slctroy.com, join, and the email list is there, and to subscribe so that you're informed about what's happening in the ministry, the events. We've got some great classes that have already they're still going and will continue to go. We got a summer picnic that'll come up, as well as likely some updates about how Reverends Ron and Lenore are doing. They also can then add your prayer requests there through those links that are provided. You can email them directly to ronaldfscott@gmail.com or by texting them to him or calling 248-925-6214. We join you. We've got the most mighty group of prayers praying together for and with you. And then we send those prayers out to Silent Unity for another 30 days of that in a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week prayer vigil that's been going on for 128 years or so. Mighty, potent uplift of prayer. And you may call Silent Unity at any time that you want to call to by dialing 1-800-NOW-PRAY. Glorious thank yous. And for the announcements, next Sunday, Martha Creek, is speaking on giving as receiving. Giving as receiving. And I'm based it on one of the chapters in my book called Martha's Pearls, which I gave out at our holiday party up there when I was up there in Troy. And it's chapter 26 if you want to look ahead, see what you might think about it. This week, Anita completes her 6 weeks class on prosperity. It's today, with the focus on financial prosperity. It will be available on our YouTube channel later today, and you can watch this series, this session, and the entire series by going to SLC Troy on the YouTube channel and watching them all, participating, and share them, invite people to them. Get the teachings out into the world in your own way. A celebration of life service is planned for our beloved Brenda Odenko, which will be Saturday, February the 25th at 3 p.m. It is to be held at the Orion Center, which is at 1335 Jocelyn Road in Lake Orion, Michigan. All are welcome to attend and to honor our dear Brenda, to uplift us in her ongoing and a celebration of her life. Next, you received this past week an email about our center's annual meeting, which will be held next Sunday, February the 26th on Zoom following the Sunday service. A link will be in the Friday email communication the 2 days before the meeting, so it'll be easy to find and to click on. And we certainly hope you'll join us. Please be there. The meeting is informative and powerful, creative, collaborative, and it's a way to get updated and to put your own uplift or questions or whatever you may have forward. And then next is Lent. It's our season of Lent, which begins this coming Wednesday, February the 22nd. And in that letter that went out about the annual meeting, we also shared with you how to obtain the free booklet from Unity Village, Unity Worldwide Headquarters, regarding Lent by simply requesting it. It's an outstanding booklet. It's called 40 Days of Letting Go. So a very powerful, auspicious time, this time of Lent leading up into Easter. And it can revise some of our revive some of our practices and even uplift our own becoming. So blessings for this Lent season for you and what you experience through this period, especially now. And lastly, immediately following the end of today's service, everyone is invited to join us on Zoom for a time of social connection, a time of prayer if you have that, and any updates, sharing, insights about the message, anything in the world that you want to bring forward. And the link is also in the email communication that went out Friday. And now, let's join together in prayerfully singing and uplifting, radiantly, joyously lifting up our peace song and our benediction for this service.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And now as you go forth, know that the light of God surrounds you, the love of God enfolds you.
The Lord bless thee and keep thee.
The power of God protects you.
The Lord make his face to shine upon thee, and be gracious unto thee.
The presence of God watches over you.
The Lord lift up his countenance upon thee, and grant thee peace.
Wherever you are, God is.
Amen. Amen.
Go your way rejoicing. All is truly well.